All right. Welcome back. This is Johnny. Sobriety date is September 25th, 2011. And today I have a special guest. Thank you, Janine, for taking time out from your busy schedule because I see that you're very popular in TikTok, getting into your perfumes and doing a great job of having all these women smell like strippers. I'm going to have to order one of those one day. Um, So, Janine, when is your sobriety date?
My sobriety date is January 29th of 2012, which I'm not really sure if that's my exact sobriety date, but that's the date that I went into rehab and tested clean.
Well, if that's the date that works for you, then it works for.
And it is what it is.
Yeah. And how? There's a lot of stuff. We'll see what we talk about because I've known you for a while, but like a lot of a lot of you guys, I don't know really the story because I don't see you at speaker meetings. Like no one asks any of us to join speaker meetings, like or to speak. You know what I mean? So I never really heard your story, but how did you get here from your memory? Like what happened? What was your rock bottom?
What was my rock
Yeah,
bottom?
like what? How many times did you come to AA? And how many times did you say, I am not one of them, I don't need help, thank you very much, until you said, I think I have a problem and I think I need help, and you came here?
Okay, so my sobriety date's 2012, the first month. I got a DUI in 2001, so that would have been the first time that I went to AA because I had to go. And
Did you have a problem? Did you think you had a problem at that time? Or
I didn't really care if it was a problem, honestly.
okay.
Whether I realized I was dependent on it, probably not. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But I know that I wasn't going to stop. I had no desire to stop.
Okay.
The hell, there's a bunch of old people here, like.
And this is 2001.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was in my early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no intention of stopping. So that was like the only time that I had ever really gone to AA prior to like 2011. 2011 is like, that's when I call it the perfect storm, when all my worlds kind of collided and I hit my bottom. And a friend who was like an Eskimo, they call it an Eskimo in AA, he scooped me up and my son, he was 3, and brought me to his house, and was basically, he had 20 years at the time, I believe, and was basically kind of showing me his way of life without pushing it on me. But he had, and I didn't even really know him that well. But his roommate, who he was renting a room to, I did know very, very well. He was from Whittier, and he had 2 years clean and sober.
Are these two people, were they in the program?
Yes.
At the time? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm sure they wouldn't mind me saying their names. Dino was my Eskimo. He's still sober. And then Willie does NA. And Willie I knew very well. We were friends. We all grew up together in Whittier. He's way older than me. These are like my brother's friends were like my friends. And he had 2 years when I went over there, and I was like, what the heck? Like, how is this guy sober? Like, this guy's like the guy who pulls up on a bike with a bottle, and all dirty and smelly and tweaker, all that stuff. And he's over there all clean and normal, has a job. And I was like, what the heck's going on over here? It was like weird. And he started taking me to meetings at that time, so in 2011. But I just thought I was going with him just to be like a guest. So it didn't even occur to me that they were trying to recruit me, for lack of a better word. It didn't even occur to me that that's what they were trying to show me, their way of life, because they knew I needed it. I didn't know I needed it.
Yeah, everybody always knows we have a problem except for us.
Yes.
And this was happening in 2011.
Yeah.
Right before your 2012. Well,
yeah.
Before you got sober.
Mm-hmm. So I had been exposed to it at that time, but I didn't think I would ever do that.
Uh-huh.
Like, maybe I needed to slow down, but I didn't think I needed to stop forever. Like, that's absurd.
We're not ready for that.
No.
We just have to do it a different way. That's always a thing. I just gotta control it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I just gotta like
slow down. I just want to smoke weed.
Yeah.
You know, like that was when I went over there. That's what I did. I just smoked weed. I didn't drink. Well, I can't say I didn't drink entirely. Whenever I went around it, I would. Like, that's where I had my last drink, was living over there with those guys. I was trying to stop, but whenever anybody pushed one my way, like I had no defense against it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was trying to do is, let's just smoke weed, and that'll solve my
anxiety
problem. I won't be a drunk idiot. I don't know. Out at the bars every night.
So did you grow up in Whittier?
Yes, born and raised.
When do you remember, like, I've interviewed a few people and we've all had the same symptom. The same thing is that we never, at least for the guys, I don't know about women, but I know we didn't feel we were part of anything. Did you ever feel like that? Like, as a little girl, like you didn't feel part of, I don't know with who, but with, with friends.
So I recently learned in the past few years that I have ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like one of the symptoms is, like you feel like you don't belong because something's wrong. Like there was something wrong, and I was always like a bad kid. I had friends, but I was different. I had my brother who was clearly ADHD. Clearly, I wasn't the hyperactive type. My brother was. He's 3 years older than me. And he was clearly the hyperactive type. And so he was the one who like took the spotlight off of me. And I wanted to be just like him. I was like, this is he's the coolest guy in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so at school, I was one person, but at home with him, he was really bad. Like, I was the bad kid, but he was really bad. Like, he's in a gang, like all that and all the stuff that goes along with it. And that's what I wanted to do too. So I followed in his footsteps. So I was always like a little different. Like elementary school, I was always getting kicked out of class, but I was in gate, so they didn't fail me. But once I got to junior high is when the problems started.
And fighting, what kind of problems? Like drugs, alcohol?
Well, I had been drinking and drugging since very, very young. My brother was older than me, and his friends were even older than him. So I think when I smoked my first joint, I was in second grade, and I had already been smoking cigarettes. They told me it was a cigarette. I remember it clear to this day. Him and his friend they were in the garage. My dad had a pool table back there. Even though my parents were divorced, he left the pool table. And they said, "Here, smoke it. It's a cigarette." I was like, "What is it?" Because it looked funny. And I remember getting all high, and they were just laughing at me. And I was in second grade.
How old are you in second grade? Wait, about 8, 9? Or
maybe 7, 8, 9, yeah. Something like that. 5, 6, 7, yeah. I already had a boyfriend in second grade. I was
no way.
He even went to a different school. I went to Longfellow, and he went to that private school next to Dexter. My kids went to that school. Why can't I think of the name? Trinity Lutheran.
Uh-huh.
He would come to my school. He was a little older.
How older?
Like 1 year, just like a year. But he would come to my school. We'd ride skateboards. We would go on dates.
In second grade?
Second grade.
So you're like fast forward.
Big time.
You came out ready to go,
yeah.
listo.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
So yeah.
And when did you guys break up? Third grade?
Probably. I would filter through the boys. I would like one. He would be my boyfriend. We would go around.
I remember that word.
I'd maybe they'd last 2-3 weeks, and then I'd move on to the next one. I like this one now. I like this one now.
So you were literally born boy crazy, like right off.
I literally, me and my friends on my block wrote a song called "Boy Crazy," and I was probably in like 3rd or 4th grade when I wrote that song.
Were you in a band, or just between you guys?
Yeah, I had a keyboard, and so you could make the beats. And it was like a rap song, actually. I still remember it. You ain't getting me to say it though.
Oh my god, that's funny. But did you ever like? So when you were doing that, did you feel like? So you felt part of the whole time, like,
No,
or were you
different.
doing that because you were like, running from feelings, chasing feelings?
I felt part of my brother and his friends.
Mm-hmm.
I felt part of that.
With his peers.
Yeah. With that crowd, I definitely like those were my people. They were all like, we weren't born in the ghetto. We have a big, beautiful home over by Palm Park, but we came uptown to all the ghetto neighborhoods up here to hang out with all them. Like that was fun for us.
Yeah, the homeboys up there.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was like a punk rock gang. It wasn't like a cholo gang. So it's not like we weren't, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't that bad. But back at that time, like everybody was kind of in gangs back then. And that's the era. So it was like a punk rock gang. And a lot of us are still friends, actually. And a lot of us are sober now.
Oh, really? Oh, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Talk about the old days.
Mm-hmm. So I've always felt a part of with those guys, even though they probably looked at me a different way. You know what I mean? I ended up having kids with one of them. It was way older than me. So.
How old are you when you had the kid?
I got pregnant at 14.
14? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how old is he now? Or boy or girl? Oh, your daughter or your son?
My daughter is 33.
Uh-huh.
And then I had a son right after that. 2 kids by the time I was 16. And he is 32.
Okay. So did you drop out of school?
Yes. So technically, before I went back to school, I had a 6th grade education because, I would never do homework. They would pass me through in elementary school because I was engaged. I was a smart kid, supposedly, which I thought was bullshit because how can I be smart and I don't do my homework? I don't do anything, and whatever.
Did you ever take a test?
Yeah, I had to take tests.
And you passed these tests?
Yeah, I scored really high in those tests.
Oh, so you just had that natural ability.
Yeah, naturally. But I had the ADHD, which prevented me from being studious. I couldn't study. I couldn't focus.
Yeah.
So 6th grade, they passed me all along through 6th grade. And once I left that school and went to Dexter, 7th grade, I didn't give a shit how smart I was. I was in the office every day. They failed me. I went to summer school, and I'm not going to summer school. I didn't go to school during the year. How do you expect me to go to, we were ditching. That's when, so that little gang I was in, I met people my age at that time. So I was hanging out with people my age that were all from the same gang. And we were ditching and drinking and smoking and all that stuff. And it's like summer school. I didn't go to school throughout the middle of the year. I'm not going to go to summer school. So I made up some BS story and had my parents switch me to another school, to East Whittier. That way I didn't have to go to summer school. And then they moved me along to 8th grade. So I really didn't finish 7th grade. I just kind of found a loophole. Mm-hmm. And then I did good when I went over there actually for a little while. The beginning of my 8th grade year. I was a cheerleader for the Redskins, and I freaking loved it. Like, I found like my life. Like, I thought that this was the best thing that has ever happened to me. I loved it. Loved football, and I loved cheerleading. I did good. I wasn't hanging out with like the bad kids. Like, one of my friends was a cheerleader, like my best friend growing up. and she was kind of a bad kid too, but we were doing good. She was like me too. She was really, really smart, but she got worse. She was like way worse than me. She got opportunity room. Anyways, so I did good up until the end of football season. So like December. And then once football season was over, I stopped going to school entirely. And my parents, my brother had been to rehab already 3 times by that point. So I was familiar with rehab. And they put me in College Hospital.
So that's like a big old cultural shock right there, right? Running to the streets and then going cheerleading. Like those are two different. It's. I mean, for me, from the outside, it's like two different worlds.
Yeah, I guess, but I was still
You were still hanging out with
smoking weed and drinking and smoking cigarettes. I was still me, but I found something that I really enjoyed doing, like a hobby, I guess. I always skateboarded and rode bikes when I was younger, but this was something new that like I really liked for some reason.
And how long did you do cheerleading for?
I only did it just for that 8th grade year.
What happened after that? Like, why could we didn't go back to cheerleading?
Well, so I went to rehab, went to College Hospital.
In 8th grade or 9th grade?
8th grade. And then
who put you there?
My parents,
okay.
My mom. And so when I but during that time, I guess my mom like took that opportunity while I was away to go get married. I had known my stepdad was around. He was my mom's boyfriend for a long time, off and on, off and on. So she finally got married and moved to San Dimas. So when I came out, I had to move to San Dimas. What the hell? Like, what are we doing here? So I came out and I had to move to San Dimas, and that was a culture shock. It's like, what? There's all these white kids everywhere. So basically, we had this plan. I wanted to do cheer. My stepbrother had went to Damien, which is a private school out there. He graduated, and then I wanted to go to St. Lucy's. So I wanted to cheer for St. Lucy's. They cheered for the football team in Damien. But my mom didn't call them and ask up until, like, I don't know. It was way too late by the time she called and asked. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to cheer. Didn't happen. So I went to San Dimas High, and I was way out of place there. Like, those were not my people. And like, I hung out with like just these like 2 girls who were like new too. So it was just like these, and I'm quiet. Like if I don't know you, I'm pretty quiet. I have like a weird, I have a weird personality where like I'm quiet until you get to know me, and then I don't shut up. Until
you get comfortable?
Yeah. But
and you're still like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still to this day. And so yeah, it was weird. And I filled out the emergency cards over there at that school. So I was writing notes and just ditching. And I had gotten pregnant at that time. Like literally, like I don't even know if school had started yet. And I went to get a pregnancy test, and they told me I wasn't pregnant. So I just kept going on with life, but I was really confused. I was 14 years old. You don't really know what's going on in life.
Wait, so were you pregnant or not?
I was pregnant.
But they say you weren't?
Correct.
So you kept partying?
No, I wasn't really partying out there with them. It was a different crowd. I was ditching and just like, I was smoking cigarettes. Definitely smoking cigarettes. I was just ditching and doing nothing really. I just didn't want to go to school. I didn't know these people. It was weird. It was awkward. And then lo and behold, all of a sudden, comes a baby. There comes my stomach starts getting bigger,
and you had no idea.
I had an idea.
I'm sorry, you didn't have a. I mean, they told you no.
They told me no.
And then so you're confused.
I was confused.
And then the stomach started showing.
I knew I was pregnant.
Okay.
But it's like, what do you do? You know, you're 14 years old. What do you do?
Jesus, 14.
Yes, it was a pretty crazy time. So my mom found out, and they basically all right, you want to go be an adult, go be an adult. So I had to fend for myself. So I moved in with my boyfriend and his family, who is abusive, alcoholic, drug addict.
How much older was he?
5 years. And yeah, that began a nightmare.
So, okay, we'll get back to that. But were both your parents, your mom and your stepdad, were they like alcoholics too, or abusive with each other? Did you see that growing up?
My parents, both my mom and my dad, not my stepdad, even him too, they're square. They're not nothing like me. My dad never had a tattoo on his body. My mom never had a tattoo. Like, they're square. They went to private school. You know, they're just like nerds. Like,
So if I see your mom and dad, I'll be like, what?
Yeah. My father has passed away, but yes.
And
so is my stepdad. And my stepdad was the same thing. He was square.
Really? What attracted you to? I mean, you're smart. You're engaged. It's just
my people.
Yeah. So because I hear you, because you come in these rooms, not the hall, but any of the rooms, and you hear how a lot of them. I see. For me, it's like, okay, I hear a lot of people say that they grew up in an alcoholic home, an abusive home, mom or dad or whatever, one or the other. Like, they grew up in that environment, right? Mm-hmm. And for me, it's kind of hard because I didn't grow up like that either. Both my parents, my dad's a Class A gentleman to my mom, and she worked, cooked, Mexican tradition, both of them, and I am the way I am. I got this anxiety, I got this fear as a little child and everything, and I'm loud, and the only thing that calmed me down was alcohol. I remember tasting it. I always share about that. So for me, it's like, man, I don't think I belong here because I did not grow up that way, but I know how I am, mm-hmm. And it's weird. It's like, if I didn't grow up like that, why am I the way I am? Like, how did that happen?
I know for me, it has a lot to do with my brother, and we've had the conversation several times. Well, we were drinking, of course.
Of course. Oh, that's when you get to the real spiritual aspect of everything.
He felt like liable for, because I had the kids with, his friends, and, he would, all that drama. And there was, I didn't think of it as abuse, but it was abuse. My brother and I used to fight. Like, that's how, like, I learned how to become a fighter, was by fighting my brother. And he probably shouldn't have been beating me up. So that was probably had a lot to do with it, maybe. Mm-hmm. So when I got into an abusive relationship, it was normal to me to be fighting a man.
Okay.
So I didn't look at it as like, I'm just getting beat up in a corner. It wasn't like that. It's, I'm hitting you over the head with a bottle, and you're going to come after me. We're going to fight. I'm going to lose because I've yet to beat up a guy. But it was normal to me.
Let me just say that you girls here in A are badass. Like, it's just like, I hear this a lot.
It's not even, I don't know. It's just normal. It's just normal for me. Now I don't live like that, of course. Mm-hmm. But if I like encounter younger people like living like that, it just seems like life to me. Mm-hmm. It's not normal. That's a normal life to me.
Or it was a normal life.
It was a normal life to me, yes. But see, now that I'm sober, this is not a normal life.
Sobriety?
Yeah. This is not my nature. Uh-huh. This is against everything I've stood for. So this is abnormal.
Yes.
To me. Mm-hmm. That life is still normal to me. I don't think I could go back to it, living this life for 13 years. But that's still normal to me. It feels comfortable.
The chaos. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The chaos is like a comfortable place for me.
And that's a lot of the adjustments that I think that for me too, like I have to make, is like that versus this now. Like, like before, that was normal. Whatever it was I don't even know if it was comfortable. That's just the way it was. today now, where I'm at, that life is very uncomfortable in my head now. Like I can't, like the value system changed. So what I'm learning today doesn't make, overrides actually anything from the past. Cause I don't want to be there no more. I've always known like I never liked the way I was. So when I get here second time, uh, they said that the book says, I have a chance to recreate my life, but it has to be based on a power grid of myself. So when I read recreate, I was like, wow, I can change my life, like literally, like, but it's not that easy because the value system is so hardcore, and learning new stuff is
Yeah, the psychic change.
yes, the psychic change.
It's necessary. And I didn't think that I didn't think it was possible. I didn't date for the first 6 years of my sobriety. I didn't even touch a boy.
Really, it's a trip because he came in 12. I'm here 2011, and I literally started talking to you like
I didn't talk to anyone.
yeah, I didn't even
Like people from the hall, like Rudy and like Fred. They thought I was weird because I didn't go outside on this porch.
for the first 6 years.
I don't know about a whole 6 years, but for several years.
Okay.
I stayed in here, and Teacher Tim was right here. And this is where that was my group, the old people. The old people were safe. I would come on the weekends to the women's meeting, old women. That's the only people I trusted. I did not want to have anything to do with the shit that went on out there on the porch. Teacher Tim used to say, the recovery is in the room. It's not out there. Okay. I trusted that man. And he saved my life, really. He probably doesn't even know it. Because, like, I didn't even really, I had a sponsor and name, but I didn't really work the program. I just basically, he was here Monday through Friday every night. And so was I. And that's who, like, I depended on.
So you came in January 29, 2012. Did you hit the books real quick?
I went into rehab first. So I 5150'd in 2011. In November of 2011, when I was staying with those boys, those men I was talking about earlier, my Eskimo and my other friend. I got on the wrong side of the law. Let's just say that. I don't want to like say anything incriminating, and it sounds dumb anyways. So I was having like a meltdown pretty much. And I tried to stop drinking. I was smoking weed. I don't know if I was taking any medication at the time. Maybe, yeah, I think I was, because a friend of mine told me that I used to take medication and drink with it. I was homeless with my 3-year-old. All kinds of chaos just ensued, and no one wanted anything to do with me. And so I 5150'd my ex, like my son, my then son, my 3-year-old son's dad. Took me to the hospital. He's like, you gotta go to the hospital. I was like, well, I don't know. I was just effed up. I don't really want to say the F word, but it happens. I was messed up. And he took me to the hospital. They 5150'd me. And after I came out, they hold you on a 5150 hold when you're a danger to yourself, and they put you on a 5250 hold if you're a danger to others. So they knew I was like violent, but I wasn't violent at that time. I was like a freaking church mouse. You know what I mean? Like I was beaten. And so they held me for a few more days, and I didn't do anything. They even like tested me while I was in there.
Tested you for?
To see if I would fight.
Oh, okay.
And they would switch the people out in my room and try and antagonize me.
Like the guards were testing you?
The institution. It was a mental hospital. It's not there anymore. Yeah, they wanted to see if I would react.
Was it Norwalk?
It
Oh.
was in Long Beach.
Okay.
And the first girl they put in there, she wasn't happy. I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back afterwards, then I realized what was going on, you know. And then, well, I take that back. So then the second girl they put in there, she was like antagonizing me, and I was just like on my bed, like I don't want to deal with none of you guys. And then once the doctor came in, and it's like for a few days that went on, and was going to release me, then she's like, she started talking to me like a normal person, and she was like, you know, she told me that they wanted her to antagonize me without telling me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because she wasn't supposed to tell me, but that's how. But I didn't figure out the other girl until later. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't really care. I was done. I was losing my damn mind. So when I came out, they made me go to drug and alcohol classes because I had a 3-year-old. They're not going to just send you out on the street after you're 5150 with a 3-year-old and think you're normal. They wanted to monitor me. So I had to go to those classes. And that's where I met a woman, the girl who was facilitating, a woman who was facilitating the meetings in there, those classes. She was in AA. She was a few years sober. I don't know, 2, 3 years sober. And she like saw that the light had went on, like when she was talking. Like I was curious about it. Hiccup. And then she started like taking the time to sit with me after class. She was in AA. That's when she started talking to me about AA. She shared her story with me. She had a similar story with me. Like I hung out with the motorcycle club. She hung out with the motorcycle club. And there she was, like sitting there like a normal person in a professional job. And I was like, I didn't think that there was a way out for me. I thought that this was my life and that's just the way it was going to be. I was going to die this way. And she kind of like gave me a little bit of hope that, maybe I don't have to live this way anymore. And so when it came time to, at this point, I stopped staying with those men, the guys over there, you know, I don't want to put my burden on them anymore. I was staying on hotel vouchers and my hotel vouchers were running out. And so they were trying to work with me on placement, give me a place to go. And they had given me the option of either going to the shelter or going to rehab. And I said, well, I'm not leaving my baby. And honestly, I chose the rehab because I thought it was the most humane thing to do for my son. I still didn't think I could stay sober, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. So they did. They found me a place with my kid, and I went to Pasadena. That's when I checked in 1/29 of 2012 to that place. And I was there for 9 months. I did all their stuff, their classes, their this, their that, the discipline. Went to AA in the morning, did their school during the day, came home, did dinner, went to another class at night. They just kept me busy for 9 months. After 4 months, I was able to come here. I was able to come back to Whittier. My mom let me come over there because I was sober. She'd let me stay with her on the weekend, and I would come to Serenity Hall. So that's when I started coming to Serenity Hall. It was like 4 or 5 months into that. And but I came to the women's meetings on the weekend. I didn't want to have nothing to do with men. And when I came out, my mom let me stay there, and that's when I started coming to Serenity Hall every day. I just came here every night, and I found a place to live through these rooms. Like one of the women in the women's meeting knew somebody who like would rent his rooms out, and I lived there for many years. Very happy. That was when I lived in South Forest Springs, right by you.
Where's it? Where at?
Hamden. It was by Jersey Elementary.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. I live right there, down Danby.
That's when I used to go. I used to go to those meetings at the Gus Velasquez.
The neighborhood center.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you got here, like how long did it take? Did you get a sponsor real quick?
Someone volunteered to be my sponsor. All right, whatever. But I never did anything with her really. I did do like I would hear like 4-step, 4-step, 4-step. So I did 4-step with someone, and they told me just put that you were a liar, cheat, and a thief. Literally, that's it. I was like, that's it. Is this what everybody's talking about? So I don't even count. I don't even count that. I don't
Yeah.
even count.
Did you do another one after?
Oh, of course.
So I was like, that's it. So like, okay, so I know for me, these are my experience I've learned, is like to admit that, I was powerless over alcohol, right? That's almost like kind of, I want to say easy, but you can see it in my experience, my life, the way I think, the way I feel. The problem I was having a lot was the unmanageability part. That came later. It didn't come like, all I know is that alcohol, I had to stop doing that because I thought if I stopped doing that, my life would get better. But it didn't get better. My head got louder, louder, and louder. Um, it wasn't until like a bunch of mistakes that I was still making early in my sobriety that I said, man, I think I need to, maybe they're onto something, that my life is truly unmanageable. Like it really is. Like I really had to surrender that part. And since then, I really turned my will, my life over to God, and by that I started taking the steps seriously now. When did you start? Did that happen to you? Did you finally surrender that part and say, you know what? If
So
I don't
yeah.
do this, I
Mhm.
might end
Yeah,
up
I
back.
was hearing everybody come up to the podium. I was here every freaking day. I stayed sober for many years by don't drink between meetings. Um, keep coming back. That stupid sign right there.
Oh yeah.
Like all those cliches,
Hmm.
they helped me stay sober for many years. But then yeah, then I started like talking to people. I started becoming like a human being again. I was kind of like just out of it. And I would hear people go up to the podium and tell me how great their life was. They've gotten this back and they've gotten that back and they're doing this and they're doing that. And I was thinking, I ain't got, my life was okay. I was just living. I was taking care of my son, and that's it. It was like Groundhog Day. Um, so I'd say I was about 5 years sober, but I still didn't. I knew I needed a sponsor, a real sponsor, and I knew I needed to work the program because that's what everybody else was saying was from the podium. And I would go to meetings. I mean, anyways, so this woman, but I didn't trust any of the women in Serenity Hall because um, I did have some pretty crazy secrets. Like I say, it's not that big of a deal, but I did have a lot of secrets that I didn't trust. But I could have trusted some women after I got to know them around here. I could have, but I didn't think so at the time. I just didn't know them well enough.
Hmm.
So there was Friday night was like speaker meeting every other night here, and no, I would go to the speaker meeting on Janine. Remember over there by the church?
By the restaurant.
Yeah, by Marie Callender's.
That was Saturday nights.
That was Saturday nights,
Uh-huh.
and it was a speaker meeting.
Uh-huh.
And so this woman went over there and spoke, and she was like me. She like was a shitty kid, just a bad kid, like even though you're a little girl, it's kind of a little abnormal for you to be a little girl and be doing stuff like that, right? You're supposed to be this cute little thing. But she was like a little snotty little kid, and just told a lot of similarities about about my life. And like towards the end of my drinking, I was in the bar every night. She was talking about that, just ditching her kids. I was ditching my kids, cheating on her husband. I was cheating on my boyfriend, like a lot of similarities. But I was still too chicken to ask her to be my sponsor. But like something like came over me, like, like you need to ask this girl to be your sponsor, this woman to be your sponsor. But I was too scared. And So then, like, I don't know what the length of time. It was probably maybe 3 months, but it didn't feel like 3 months. She came and spoke here, and I was like, okay, God,
That's it.
I get it, right?
Yeah.
And I just broke down crying. I want to cry thinking about it.
Right when you saw her?
No, after the meeting.
Yeah.
After the
As
meeting.
soon as you started, like, yeah,
Because I wanted to. I was like, like I was so emotional because I'm like ready. I was ready, and yeah. So that's when we went down that journey. She's still my sponsor now, and
yeah.
finally did what I was supposed to do. And lo and behold, my life changed. Can you believe it?
I can now, but I wouldn't before. But it does happen. But
Yeah.
all those, the thing. That's why I like doing this, because I can see that moment that you say you don't want to cry, but it means that much to you still to this day, that how much pain you were in at that moment. And that's the thing, is like you had to surrender that, whatever it was, you had to surrender at that moment, and then start moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Because I hear that a lot, and I think, I know when I came in, when I first got here in 2011, there was a lot of old timers. There was a lot of old timers that are not here no more. They just, they passed away or they moved on, especially after COVID. A lot of them didn't come back.
They disappeared.
Yeah, and whose alarm is that? Not mine. It's probably over there. And I remember Bob Z. He said something that was real, like, profound for me. And he says, when the patients take over the asylum, that's when we're in trouble. And I don't know, like, today just seems like the message has been so watered down. Like, everybody, all they just want to tell you, just go to meetings, go to meetings, go to meetings, go to meetings. People, oh, the 4-step is such a monster. It's not. It's like, all we're writing is the shit that we did.
The thing that is, I understand the concept of it being a difficult thing for an alcoholic to do, because alcoholics are, okay, I shouldn't say all of them, but by nature we are pessimistic, and that takes time to sit down and write something out. It takes a little bit of structure, and no one wants to do that when we get here. When we get here, we're a mess. Like, to sit down and be in your own head just for freaking any length of time is hard to do. So I think that just the 4-step no is not hard. It's just discipline enough to sit down and do it. That's where I run into the issues when I'm sponsoring other women. Sometimes I have to sit down with them to get them started, because they just can't sit still. I think that to me, like, making amends, that's a whole nother, that's hard.
Yeah, that's the toughest one.
I can write freaking who I hurt all day, or who hurt me all day.
Yeah, the making amends that's the hard one.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
But
I found out that it's the hardest one, but it's the most, I guess, rewarding one, because I don't have to carry that stuff with me anymore. Like most of the time, like, I didn't get a F you from anybody. They just said, you know what, just don't drink, because apparently I was worse than I thought. Because when you drink, we don't want you around. We don't want to be around you. I don't want, I won't invite you to parties and stuff like that, because your mouth just goes off. And it's kind of like rewarding, even though a lot of the amends that I made, we don't talk, but it's okay. I'm free. So you get here, you finally get this sponsor, and how much has your life changed since? And I don't mean, so there's other ways, right? You got material and stuff like that. I'm not really talking about the material. I'm talking about the internal, the spirituality of yours, your thinking, that spiritual awakening. Are you able to feel positive things now? Are you able to think positively now? Like, did the world change?
Yeah, absolutely. I have definitely experienced a psychic change. I don't know at what point. I'm going to say, like, to me, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. It was definitely slowly, definitely slowly. I see people come in here and get their life back together in like a year, 2 years. Like, that was not my story. It took me a great deal of time. I am very prideful. I don't like anybody telling me what to do. So yeah, and even once I finished my 12 steps, I said, I finished my 12 steps. I don't feel any different. I even said that. I did it just to do it. You guys are dumb, but it took a while. It took a while.
Before you sponsored?
My sponsor told me pretty quickly, because some lady came in here and asked me to be her sponsor, and I wasn't finished. I was like, but you only have to be one step ahead. So she says, and she was talking to me and she wanted me to be her sponsor. And I was like, okay, well, let me get your number and I'll get back to you. And I talked to my sponsor. I told my sponsor, I was like, just, this chick's crazy. I told her story and I was like, she's insane. She goes, I don't care how insane she is. If anybody asks you to sponsor them, you're going to do it. And I was like, oh, crap. I didn't expect that out of her. So, yeah, there I went on my merry way. And she also, she didn't make me, but she encouraged me to go to women's meetings. And, that's when I started, things started to change, started meeting more women and getting more comfortable, because I'm comfortable with men all day. That's all me all night. But like women, but I had to get comfortable with the women. And then, yeah, they just started. There's not that many women at Serenity Hall. Even the women, like I would go to another meeting. It's at a different location at the Wesley building, the women's meeting on Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to throw them under the bus, but they don't come here,
Mm-hmm.
and for their own reasons. They're married and maybe this is not where their men want them to be. Whatever, that's their business. But for me, this is where I need to be, because this is where I need to be able to reach my hand out. There's not a lot of women here who are available to sponsor. So a lot of people ask me to sponsor them. Whether they stay or not is something entirely different. They do have a tendency to not. I've only had one finish like her whole 12 steps that I could think of off the top of my head. They just don't work all their steps.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too. Is like by the time I've done it and I've sponsored some, and by most of them are gone by step two, if that. They're like, life is busy. My wife, I got a new job, I got a new career, there's everything that they say, and it's like, okay. So when I talk to the sponsor, I go, dude, you have to go get somebody. You have to have this experience of taking someone or being willing to take someone through the 12 steps, because they're not all going to stay. But if you're willing to stay, if you're willing to help them out, there is a good feeling about that. I remember when I went through my 12, like I was expecting some like big, I don't even know what awakening was, but I was just expecting this big thing. The one thing I did get is that I was happy that I finally completed something I set out to do.
Yeah.
But it was because of pain, but I finished it, because I quit everything. I'm always quitting everything. But this, I finished it and it felt good. And then when I went and helped another alcoholic and we went through the 12, man, that even felt a lot better. And I got hooked on it.
Yeah, that's when my life definitely changed, when I started sponsoring other women, when I started helping other women. Isn't
it amazing that your experience, your past can help them?
Yeah, yeah, because like for me, like nothing that I've heard shocks me. I've had a pretty crazy life. I was majorly around men, so women, not much you can do to like shock me. So I think that kind of helps, that they feel comfortable telling me their you know, their past. Me being an open book, I talk about my past, you know. I just shared, was it last night, that this is not of me. I'm a dirtbag. Like, I'm a horrible person in the past. Like, this is not me. This is God working through me. And I truly believe that. I just, you know, I go to school now, and I had to do a school project with another woman, and whew, she was a handful. She was a handful, and she knows she's a handful. And she told me, she goes, man, where did you learn though your where to set your boundaries and how you deal with other people? Where did you learn that? I said, AA.
What'd she say?
She's like, oh, she said, I went to adult children of alcoholics a long time ago. I was like, maybe you should go back.
I can sponsor you.
No. That's not my area of expertise. My parents are not alcoholics.
So, you know, you did that, and now you just. How long ago did you graduate? When did you go back to school?
I went back to school in 2020.
Did you ever get your before 2020? Did you get your GED?
I got my GED. I got emancipated at 16 because I had 2 babies. So I went and took my GED. It was no big deal. I took the dumb test and passed it. It wasn't that hard. And then my boyfriend at the time, his sister she was in college. She was a couple years older than me. And she was home for the summer, and she started going to Rio Hondo. She took a Rio Hondo class for her summer school while she was going to Loyola. And she's like, come take the class with me.
And when was this? What year?
1995.
Okay.
So that's when my transcript started at Rio Hondo, was 1995. Oh, hiccups. But I wasn't able to complete the class. I got 2 babies, and nobody wants to babysit, right? So my transcript starts in 1995, and I went back a few times, and I tried. It was always a goal of mine to get that piece of paper. You know?
GED?
No.
Or what?
The degree, the associate's degree. I got the GED at 16. I wanted that. In my mind as a kid, I always wanted to go to college.
Okay.
Like, even though I was a shitty student, I just had this, like, fantasy. Me and my friend, my friend who's a shitty kid too. We were gonna go. We're little. We're gonna go to the military. We're gonna travel the world, and then we're gonna come back, and we're gonna get what do you call it? A penthouse, not a penthouse. I forget. Like a warehouse. I forget what you call it. Like one big giant room in New York, a studio in New York, and we're gonna go to college. Like, that was my dream. I don't want to go to the military, but I wanted to go to college. So I tried, and I would try, and I would try, but I'm working, and I can't. I'm working. I'm taking care of 2 kids. I was a single mom all the way through. I got married, but I never put the burden of my kids on my husband, my ex-husband. I never put them on him. Like, these aren't his kids. Like, these are my kids. I pay for them. I support them. You know, you do you, and we do us over here, you know? And so I'm the single mom. I had to provide for those kids, and I had to work. And I did. I did it, and I pulled it off for many years, but I definitely drank during the weekends. So I did live that double life for quite some time, where I was able to pull it off, where I was able to work, take care of my family. I had it. I had my condo. I had a BMW. I had the job. I worked my way up. I figured out a way how to work my way up, and I did it. But I digress. So I tried to go to school many times, and I couldn't pull it off. In 2020, before the pandemic, mind you, so we had our meetings for our women's meetings on Mondays. This was before it was at the Wesley building. We were traveling. We would go to, like, each woman would take turns and host it at their house each month.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I would go to Giselle and John's, and I love John. I love Giselle too, but John's like amazing. Like he's amazing. And he was at Rio at the time, and I would come in and I would talk to him. He's just such an interesting person, and he like literally was like, "Oh, you want to go back to school?" And he like basically opened the laptop and just pretty much signed me up. Yeah. Like it was weird. Like I don't really even remember how it went down, but I was like, how? Like I couldn't. My mind just couldn't. It just seemed too big for me. For some reason, it was just too big for me. And he just like told me what to do. There's a kind of a lot to navigate when you go to school. There is. And if you don't have somebody like helping you, I had a lot of people. I had another guy help me who was from these rooms, and he's loaded now. And he helped me too. John helped me sign up, and then other people helped me with the classes, or they set me up with a counselor. And then the pandemic hit, and everything went online. Shit. All right, I got nothing else to do. So I just started doing school. I was full time, and I just kept going. And I said, I'm going to get my associate's degree, and I can do this. I can do this. All right, well, keep going. My counselor, he was from the RISE program, which is previously incarcerated. I was technically incarcerated for a DUI. They don't even get into the schematics of it. Like you either were or you weren't, or even impacted by someone who was incarcerated. He's like, no, keep going, keep going, let's do this. So we even, I got 2 associate's degrees because I didn't want to go into business anymore. When I was going back in the day, because me and my mom started a business, a tax business. So I learned what I needed to learn, and then went over there and I did it. So that's what my major was, and I don't want to do that anymore. I hate it now. So I changed my major. I said, I wanted to go into law. I wanted to study law. So we changed my major to philosophy. So I got 2 associate's degrees. I transferred to Cal State LA in 2022, and got my degree in philosophy. But along the way, I'm looking at, I'm thinking, I'm like, I don't think that being a lawyer is what I want to do. I love the law, but I don't want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day. I'm not a morning person. I don't want to get up. I don't want to have to do my makeup. I don't want to, all these things that went along to it. There's all kinds of internship that you have to do. Too much red tape. I don't want to do that anymore. I was changing my mind. And then who was I talking to? I forget who I was talking to, but someone, probably one of the counselors over there. They're like, okay, go into like rehabilitation therapy. So when I graduated over there, I was applying for different areas, and then marriage and family therapy was an option. I've been talking about this lately because this is my first year in grad school, my first semester in grad school. That wasn't, Azusa Pacific University was not my first choice. Like I talked to them, and then they were like kind of like coming to recruit me, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do marriage and family therapy. I was kind of in the rehabilitation area, and I applied to other schools, and so the political climate changed at that time, so they weren't getting back to people about our college applications quickly at all. So I was kind of in a panic, and APU like sent me a link to go on to join their Zoom, and they'll give me they won't charge me to do the application. So APU was the last application that I did. I did it half ASSED. I even have Rudy as one of my references because I'm on the board of directors at Serenity Hall. So I had him, and they accepted me, and the Department of Rehab is paying for the whole thing. And it's a private school, and it costs a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. So all of those things, like, it's just like, I was just telling my boyfriend, like, God made that path for me.
All you had to do was follow it.
All I had to do was follow it.
That's what I hear a lot in these rooms. Like, people like you is like, You came from here, but you just kept following that path, not knowing where it was going to take you.
No idea.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the faith. That's a faith right there.
People were just kind of like helping me along, like here and there, kind of like pushing me. Here, go this way. Here, go that way. And I was just like, okay, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, you know?
You were just doing the work.
I was just doing the work.
You keep going, keep going.
I just keep showing up.
Yeah.
And here I am. I'm going to get my master's degree in clinical psychology. What the hell? How the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
That's a miracle. Like, I can't even like wrap my mind around that, even to this day.
Well, it's happening.
I know, it's crazy.
You had to surrender is what you had to do.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And, you know, and that's the other thing too, is like, I don't know for you, but I know for me, it's like, I had those, I think if people would have like showing me another way to learn, I probably would have learned better. But I remember going to school, it was just like one way of teaching. It seemed like that. And I couldn't understand that. Like, you had these.
You might want to look into ADHD. Maybe you have it.
Probably. Because I know my sister, when I was young, my sister told my mom, you know, there's something up with this kid.
Yeah, you're not dumb.
I don't think anyone is. It just, like you said, you have people guiding you.
Yeah.
And you just kept
but
going.
I did the work. I had to do the work. But my doctor, she wasn't even a doctor. She was a physician's assistant, and she just left recently. And that woman was life-changing for me. She changed my life. I don't even want to get emotional. But all these years I've been going to therapy and psychiatrists, and everybody says this is wrong with me and that was wrong with me. And she was like, clearly you have ADHD. And it fixed me. The medicine that I take fixed me. I can think, I can concentrate, I can understand what people are saying. It's like a miracle, like a light just turned on.
Really?
Yeah. I could never study before. I could never study. And now I can focus, and it's like a freaking miracle. But that's not the only thing she did for me. But, you know, like, so I had kids young. I had kids. So I haven't had, you're a man, you don't get it. But being a woman, you have a pre-childbirth body. I've never had the pre-childbirth body because I've always been pregnant since I was 14. And then I even had a tubal pregnancy where like they couldn't do it laparoscopically. They had to cut me. So like I had to wear like a faja, like a girdle my whole life to hold in my stomach. And this woman got me to like where I've had like that surgery, the plastic surgery, to like life-changing. Now I have like a pre-childbirth body that I never had.
Mm. I saw you when I put up, and yeah, you lost a lot of weight.
She's life-changing. Like, that's, people say, oh, whatever, like fat shaming, da, da, da. It's not even about fat shaming. It's about just being free to be able to wear whatever I want for the first time and feel comfortable in my own skin. It's amazing.
Mm.
And I would have missed all of that. I would be like, maybe I would have got out of jail by now.
By now?
Yeah, 13 years later, I would have got out of jail by now, but
you would have had a late start.
I would have got worse in jail. If you would have put me in there, I would have got worse. Like my Nina is she's a retired social worker, and she worked in the prisons, and she says like, you would have ran the place. And I said, probably, you know, like I would have been the worst of the worst because that's my personality. Like, I take shit to the extreme, you know? So if I would have gone to jail, if I would have gone to prison, I was going to go to federal prison. It would have been Jover for me. My son says that. Jover. It would have been Jover for me. Like, I would be mad.
Yeah. Well, thank God that never happened.
Thank God. God knows. God knows. God had a plan for me, and He let me. He let me. All I had to do was follow those little pushes that people, so many different people. So I couldn't even sit down and tell you how many people were instrumental in changing my life. just little pushes here and there. Push this way, push that way, push this way. Okay. And I just go with it. I just go. I don't ask questions.
Yeah.
And life is.
Well, I believe that because before I hit record, I was telling you how, I was saying thank you for being part of my vision. And I hear these stories a lot, and I hear from other people, and you will never know until you start. You have to start, right? And doing this, it's almost like an experiment for me because I want to see where this takes me, where I'm going to end up, because eventually the goal is to do video. But right now it's audio, but it's cool. But I want to do the video. But you don't know until you start. Like, you literally have to start. Like, for me, same thing with the steps. You don't know where these steps. You could be scared of them. You can hear people say, like, Forrest is scared, whatever they say, and you can believe it, or you can literally start step 1, step 2, and you have no idea by the time you're 12 what your mental and your emotional sobriety is going to be. But you got to start. You have to start.
You have to start somewhere. And yeah, so I do a 12-step study at my church. I'm blessed enough to do that. And all of
you go to church now?
Yeah, I've been going to church.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, Karina. Let's see, I've been going to church since before the pandemic. So 2020. I don't know, 2019 probably. 2018, 2019. I've been going to church. And so they asked Karina because they wanted to start a 12-step women's meeting. There's a men's one, and they asked Karina, and then Karina asked me, and so we started this group. It's been a little over a year now.
These 12 steps? Okay.
Yeah, it's called but it's a different book, but it does, Bill W. It's I don't want to go say the name and be wrong with it. I always have to look at a kindergarten way through the 12 steps or something like that. But it has spiritual, it has biblical, it has Bible quotes, and it has Bible study in it. A little bit. It's a tiny little book. It's the simplest way through the 12 steps.
Is it the yellow cover?
It's a little blue book.
Because I know Jeff does something like that.
It's real basic.
Yeah.
Real basic. And all of these, like, things that I do, like those, I'm on the board. I do my secretary. I sponsor women. I do the 12-step study at my church. All these little things is like doing God's will. And even though, like, it's so simple, it's so impactful in my life. And they're just little scoots that people have given me through, you know what I mean? Like along the way.
And you're sharing it. Like, really.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's amazing because the women are like, yeah. So I was telling, that's what I forgot to say. So there was a woman there, and everybody was giving advice after it was like we went together. It wasn't at the meeting. It was like a function, dinner, whatever. And they were all giving her advice about what was going on and da da da. And I said, all that's great advice, but you can't do none of that unless you stay sober. Like, she's got 4 months. Like, give the girl a break. Can you stay sober first?
Mm-hmm.
Stay sober, and then all of these things will fall into play. But stay sober and follow God's way, because I know what's God's will and what's my will. Doesn't mean I choose God's will all the time, but I know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always say, like, the devil's got the best stuff. I know people don't want to believe in the devil or whatever, but if you believe in God, then you got to believe in the letter. And they got the best stuff. The devil's got the best stuff.
Instant gratification.
Best stuff. I went recently, so now I ride my own motorcycle.
I've seen you.
And I used to hang out with a motorcycle club. Loved it. Not what I need to be doing in my life, however, anymore. And so, like, our paths kind of are crossing now that I'm riding my own motorcycle. And I ended up in their clubhouse. That felt like home to me. And I was like, I need to get the F out of here, because the devil is on my shoulder whispering in my ear right now. And I was like, I'm out of here. So I can tell the difference. It's up to me to make the decision what do we want to do? What's the right thing to do and what's the wrong thing to do? I know what it is. Whether I make the decision or not is one thing. It's easier said than done. But yeah, so that's what I was basically telling this woman, like, follow God's path, do God's will, don't do your own will. Because when you're 4 months,
I think in 4 months you get clarity. So we think
I
that
didn't get clarity for a long time.
Yeah. Well, you think. Well, for me, I know it seems like everything's God's will, even though it's wrong. I can't tell the difference. Like it says, even if our motives were good, we're still going to be in collision with other people. So I think my motive is good, and I still in collision. It's like, what the hell? What's God's will? And I don't know. And
Yeah,
through trial and error and
God will
experience.
show you.
Yeah.
I just have to look for the signs.
And through your experience, you learn a lot. Your experience tells you, like, this is not the right choice. I've done this before. And
I can feel it. I get the feel. It's just a feeling that I have. Like, I just picked up a newcomer. Was it yesterday? No, Tuesday. I've been talking to this girl for years. She can't get clean. I can feel it when she gets in the car. She's got darkness all over her. It's not her fault. It's the life she's living and what she's putting into her body, and she said something about it, and I said, yeah, I can feel it. I can feel the darkness coming off of you. And she just looks at me. I said, it's not your fault. That just goes along with that, living that life. I was in the dark too. I loved it. I didn't think I was ever going to stop doing what I did. Like, that was how I was going to die. I was in the bars. At the end of my drinking, I would literally be like, if someone would come up to me, and of course, when I'm drunk, I'm the loudest person in the damn room, right? Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'd say, hi, my name is Janine. I'm an alcoholic. I thought it was funny. Like, that was entertainment for me. I knew I was an alcoholic, but I didn't give a shit. This is me, and I love it, and I'm gonna live this way. I loved living that life of the dark side. I loved it. So I know when I can feel that feeling, I gotta be very aware of what's going on. I have to make sure that I can go down that path sober.
Yeah.
I don't want to. My God is working for me in so many ways. I don't want to piss him off.
Yeah. And the thing is, you got a lot to lose too. I think you would have a lot to lose.
Yeah.
I've seen you. I mean, you graduated, you've done this, and now you're doing your perfumes on TikTok, and that's pretty cool, And is that something? I mean,
yeah.
Did you see that in your future? Like,
absolutely not.
You know what I mean? Like doing these things.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
stone cold sober. You're doing positive stuff.
Nope. No. Even my boyfriend that I have, like, if you would have told me, like, you're going to date this guy, I would have said, yeah, right. I date the tattooed biker, I don't date the freaking square guy with no tattoos. Like, he's not normal by any means, but he appears normal from the outside.
Yeah.
But as we all know, he's not normal. But he's pretty great, though. He's pretty great. The trials and tribulations that we have had been few and far between. But he's very instrumental in helping me in all of mine. He's very supportive in everything that I do. He's great. And God put him in my life too. My dad died in June of 2020, and we started dating in September of 2020.
Oh, wow. That was quick.
Mm-hmm. And I think that, yeah.
Of 2020? Mm-hmm. So you guys are 5 years. 5 years, huh? Yeah. I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
When you guys first started.
Yeah, we had definitely had some hurdles, but he's only.
That's every relationship.
Yeah, he's only 6 years sober, and I'm 13, so I still have to give him grace for that. It's like he's a 6-year-old and I'm a teenager. Gross. But he helps me he just encourages me to do everything. He's great. He's awesome. Like, I have to give credit to him. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Now he's going to listen to this.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta listen to it, dude.
No, I'm going to tell him not to listen to it.
I did. He was like my very first.
I remember his was long.
We went long on that one.
And
it was during COVID.
Yeah, and every other word was F. I was like, ooh, it made me cringe. That's why I don't want to say the F word, because that was bad.
I think that one was like 2 hours, I think we went.
It was long.
Yeah. And we just kept going. I remember I was at a hotel and he called me. We did it on Zoom and we did it. And it was like, dude, we did it. We could have did like a 5-part on this one.
Gosh.
Yeah, so well, I want to thank you for taking time off out of your life to being part of this vision of mine, and I'm glad that you had that painful part in your sobriety where you picked that sponsor up that changed your life. I mean, that to me is the miracle of it, that you listen to your body, you listen to your mind. And you could have easily said, F it, I'm out. I'm not going to do this. But you wanted to not live that way anymore. Mm-hmm. And you picked this lady, and follow some simple directions. You know, I'm not saying you followed it willingly, but kicking and screaming, and look where you're at today. You know, what an inspiration to a lot of these women.
I was ready. I was definitely ready. So it wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
For her, anyways. She didn't have to pull me by my hair or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, just like alcohol, we had to be beaten to a reasonableness. Mm-hmm. And now, I that's my thing when I work with. It's that internal spirituality has to get knocked out. Your ego really has to get beat up for us to make the next move. That's exactly
it. I had my ego, my pride in my ego. It took me a long time to be able to pride leads the procession, but I had to knock it down. You know, like, I don't have to be the strongest. I don't have to be the baddest. I don't have to be the toughest. Like, I'm old now. I'm tired. I'm tired of living that way.
Yeah, I just want to be a decent human being.
Yeah,
do the right thing. Exactly. Whenever as much as I can.
I'm able to turn the other cheek. But I do want to say that, you know, a lot of the things I'm learning, the things I've learned in church and the things I'm learning in psychology, AA combines all of those things, and they're all very similar. And, you know, they my school, my professors hold AA in high regard. They hold this big book in high regard. It is basically like a miraculous instrument from God. I am blessed enough to go to a private school. It's a Christian school, and, you know, it's like, and it makes me proud. They don't know I'm in the AA, but I still hear them talk about it.
Oh, really?
Not yet. I just barely started.
Yeah, but I mean,
they will eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't know. Like, some of the things my professor will say, like, oh, and they do this, and I'm like, no, we don't do that. But these principles all align, you know, and so it's not like AA is just some random book that, you know, that weird alcoholics go and read and get better. It's all of these principles are there for a purpose, and it is miraculous, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I truly agree. But well, thank you so much for taking time, and we'll see how this goes, and pass it around to the people you know.
Well, you need to take that whole part where I praise my boyfriend out of it.
And with that note, we're going to end it right there, and that's going to be my clip bait right there. All right, thank you, Janine. Appreciate it.
All right.